Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be breaking down my favorite GLC deck. And then maybe going into some twinleaf and showing off some gameplay. So to start, let's just go break down the mons that are in the deck and kind of do what they do and why I think this deck is the best deck, and I think my deck is the best version of this deck. Of course, Guz Daddy, the Guz Lord, the OG Iron Hands with the red Banquet attack, 120 damage. It's going to take 2 prizes when it takes a knockout. This is my favorite attacker. This is Assault Gate Hoopa. And what makes him special in my deck is I run more switch outs in my deck than most people that play Dark. So Assault Gate Hoopa does 90 damage if he comes from the bench to the active. And with GLC being a 40-minute rounds best of 1, you can take a lot of games with this guy. He's very, very powerful and very dangerous. Guzzlord can bring you back or get you way ahead, depending on how that works. But Assault Gate Hoopa can just end a game. Spirit Tomb, let's talk about him. The Building Spite ability. Once during each turn, you can put a damage counter on Spirit Tomb, and just for 1 energy, for each damage counter, he does 30 more damage. So, without any kind of bravery charms or any kind of health buffs, he can already swing for 160 for 1 energy. You've got 90 for 1 energy, and I'll show you how I can get Red Banquet powered up and going online in 1 turn. And that's going to be a very common theme in this deck. Is every card that I have, I can get charged up and ready to go in 1 turn. The Galarian Moltres. And what it does is Malevolent Charge. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, you can accelerate 2 dark energy from your hand to this Pokemon. This Pokemon is, without a doubt, the closer of the deck. It's 20 plus. And then you do 50 more damage for each prize card that your opponent's taking. So I can't tell you how many times I've been in a 1-1 prize race. Next prize takes the game, and I come in with Fiery Wrath, and it's just GG's. Because not a whole lot can withstand the Fiery Wrath of Galarian Moltres. You got to think 5 prize cards taken. That's 250 plus another 20. Not a whole lot in GLC is going to withstand 270 damage. Ascension Coughing, which is just a quicker way to get into Galarian Wheezing. Galarian Wheezing, very powerful. Neutralizing Gas is going to shut off once he's in the active. So you can go Coughing, Energy, Extension, and now you have shut off their abilities. And with so many decks in GLC reliant upon their abilities for their deck engines to run, this card can be very disruptive. He can flat out win you games, but he also he can buy you time to get your Guzzlord set up or whatever else you need going on. If you get a a bad hand or whatever, he can definitely get you where you're going. Severe poison, instead of 1 damage counter per poison, it does 4 during Pokemon checkup. And now here's where we're going to get into some of my favorite interactions and why Hoopa is my favorite attacker. So, again, I value the Ascension Pokemons, so I run the Zora with the Ascension ability, which gets me into my Zoroark. I don't run the Zoroark that I can copy others' attacks. I run the stand-in, and I value that because if I am stuck on the bench and I don't have a switch out, or if I've got, let's say, Guzzlord stuck in the active, or a Weezing stuck in the active, I can use the stand-in, bring him to the active, air balloon or something, retreat, and now I'm swinging with Hoopa. It just gives me a little bit of flexibility, or if I need to pivot, just that ability to pivot, I think is crucial. But he's not weak at all. The Mind Jack attack does 30 for each benched Pokemon that your opponent plays, so he can swing for 160 as well. So a common theme there: you just throw a double colorless energy on him, and he can swing for 160. Now this card, I wouldn't have said a whole lot about the Sneasel. I ran the Sneaky Smash one that could, if you're going second, he could, on your first turn only, he could essentially knock a energy off of one of your opponent's active Pokemons. Anyways, in Prismatic Evolutions, they printed a free retreat Sneasel. I think is a huge upgrade. It's a free pivot into Hoopa, Guzzlord, whoever you need to. But that's not the reason he's in this deck. This Weavile is. And the Evil Admonition Weavile, for 1 energy, once again, very common theme here. Everything is 1 energy. There's not, it's not gonna take me very long to get anything set up here. 50 for each Pokemon that your opponent has that has an ability. Again, that's huge in this format. So many decks rely on their abilities to get their draw engines running or whatever it may be. And now you're swinging for up to 300 with Weavile without any extras. Sableye, he does have a cool attack for 1 colorless, does 10, and you can disable one of your opponent's active attacks. But he's in here for the Excavate ability, and then what it does is once during your turn, you can look at the top card of your deck and decide if you want to put it into your discard or if you want to keep it on top. So if you're getting stuck, or let's say what I like to use it for is, there's a Darkness energy on top of my deck. Let's put it into the discard, and now I'm going to Dark Patch that energy onto and just use some energy acceleration, or with all of the basically with all of the abilities like 9 Stretcher and stuff like that to revive things that have been sent to your discard. It's really, really good. It just allows, and you'll see this deck can really handle just about anything, and it's very fluid, it's very flexible. It's not a set way of playing this. Every single game is going to look different with this deck. This is my draw engine. Purloin into Liepard with the trade ability. You discard a card, draw 2, and it really, really synergizes well with the Sableye. If you look at the top of the deck, say, hey, I want that card. Okay, I'm going to discard Boss's Order. I'm going to draw this into the card that I just saw with Sableye, and I've got that card and another card. And so that's my Mons. I run 13. Literally Guzzlord is maybe the most powerful attacker in the format. I just taking 2 prizes is always going to be good when you're in a singleton format, and everybody's got 6 prizes, and you've got 40 minutes, and you're taking 2 prizes, and they're taking 1. That's just not a fair trade-off. You're going to win most of those matches. Getting into my supporters, I run some Gust, obviously Boss's Orders and Guzma. Guzma is one of my favorites because it also allows you to bring from the bench to the active. Another way of getting Hoopa online, so your Assault Gate can swing if need be. Then I'm going to go into my setup cards. So Guzma and Hala is crucial. And I'm sure by now everybody knows what a Guzma and Hala does. But you search your deck for a stadium, reveal it, and then put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. But here's the caveat with a tag team card. When you play this card, you may discard 2 other cards from your hand. If you do, you may search your deck for a tool card and a special energy card. And this is crucial because now I can go get my switch outs. So I need a tool card. Let's say I need to hit a different amount. They have 110, and I've already got the free retreat because you've seen how many switch outs I've already run. I can go get Dark Color Muscle Band. Or let's say I'm stuck in the active. I can go get a tool that gets me out of the active. Special energies. It's going to allow me to go get some of those. Again, Hide Energy or Dark City. So just Guzma Hala is so good in this deck, especially for getting Assault Gate Hoopa online, or going and getting your double colorless energy and getting some either your Mind Jack, Zork in play. You can get 2. That's 2 energies extra onto your Guzzlord, so a lot that it does there. A lot of flexibility. Arven, again, allowing you to search up one of those tool cards, and then there's some very powerful item cards in this deck. So you got to run an Arven in this deck, and you see I ran in 5 tool cards, I believe. So all of them good. So going and getting those. Setup cards again. Bridget is my one of choice here. Allows you to, ideally, if you're going second and you did not draw into a lot of Pokemon, and you want to establish a good board state, going with Bridget, going and getting, your pre-evolution mons, or going and getting Guzzlord, depending on the match. Again, very fluid. You can go get whatever card that might be that you need, and you get 3 basic Pokemon. Set them up on your bench. Teammates, one of the most powerful supporter cards in the format. If they take a knockout, you get to go search up 2 cards, any 2 cards that you need. I've won several matches just by being able to go into teammates and getting whatever I need. We have the Cynthia. These are going to be my hand disruption cards. So we do run Cynthia, shuffle your deck, draw 6 cards. We do run Marnie. This is going to disrupt their hand. This is more of a draw card. Cynthia. Marnie is more of a hand disruption card. And it's going to allow me to get 5 cards and put them down to 4. And then Iono. Everybody knows what Iono does at this point. Basically, I don't know if there's a more powerful card as far as hand disruption. It's going to put their hand to the bottom of their deck, which means they have to find a way to shuffle up their deck if whatever they have in their hand. Let's say they need that boss disorder. It was in their hand. You Iono them down to 1 prize card. Very little options in most decks to get that Boss's Orders back. You can't run a Poke Gear and run it off the top because you just put it to the bottom. So very, very clutch card. Here's going to be some really neat interactions. Clara with your Galarian Moltres. So early in the game, you want, I mean, it doesn't hurt if you need to Ultra Ball away your Galarian Moltres. Ideally, throughout the game, Galarian Moltres, you want him setting in your discard, and that way you know where he's at. You don't have to search him out. And Clara for the 2 energies that you need. Clara for your Galarian Moltres. Set him down. You've got your 2 energies that you get with Malevolent Charge. Attach 1 for turn, and now you're swinging for 270, and most likely the win. Cynthia and Caitlin, another tag team card. It's only the second, and yeah, I only run 2 tag teams in this. So, anyways, it allows you to put a supporter card from your discard pile back into your hand, and then it also gives you a little bit of draw. If you discard a card from your hand, you get to draw 3 more cards. So, kind of like a Verse Seeker, but not an item card, and it allows you to draw. Bird Keeper, like I said, my deck, I really like the options to get different Pokemon into the active. I especially love my Assault Gate Hoopa, but he's not the only one that does well by coming into the active. And maybe I want to get Neutralizing Gas on online, shut off their abilities. With Bird Keeper, I can switch into the active, but it's also going to allow me to draw 3 cards, and draw power is so key. Speaking of draw power, we've got our Professor Sycamore. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. It's your traditional Professor's Research. I just like the art on this one, and this is heavy draw power. If you got a dead hand, get rid of it, and go get some cards. So that's gonna be my supporters. I do run that Lysander, Boss's Orders. Out of all of them, I think he's the baddest dude. So that's why I chose him. Getting into items, let's look at the Pokeballs that we run. So obviously we're gonna run an Ultra Ball. Everybody knows what that does. Discard 2. You're gonna go up and search for any Pokemon that you want. So if you need to go get, your Guzzlord, if you need to go get an evolution Pokemon, you can go do that. Quick Ball. Discard a card from your hand. Go through your deck, search for a basic Pokemon, and put it into your hand, and that's going to allow you to just more search. If Galarian Moltres is in deck and you need to go get it to finish off, or if you're ready for Assault Gate Hoopa right off the bat, you can go search him up, go get attackers, or if you want to set up your basics for evolutions later on down the road. A lot of flexibility there. Nest Ball allows you to get a basic and put it straight to your bench. And then Level Ball, find a Mon with 90 HP or less. One thing that works really well in this deck is there's one of my best attackers, Sableye, has 60 HP. Weavile, which is a stage 1 Pokemon that can hit for 300, 90 HP. So, or I said Sableye is one of my best attackers. Sableye is one of my best in drawings. Spiritomb is one of my best attackers. So a lot of different. Like I said, it's very, very fluid in what you can do with this deck. Now we're gonna get into my switch cards. I literally run a switch. I know a lot of people have cut switch from their decks. I love switch. I love being able to. And I probably run, like I said, I run more switch with this deck than anybody else that I've seen. And just being able to flip through your cards from active to bench. It's one of my favorite things, and this deck allows me to do that. Scoop up net. You get stuck in the active, you can scoop them up. Also works really well with the Glaring Moltres. If he is, let's say you start the game with Glaring Moltres, he's the worst. He's not who you want to start the game with. Scoop him up, get him into your hand, Ultra Ball him away, claw him back later, win the game. A little bit of disruption here. I think it's crucial at this point to have an enhanced hammer in your deck. And the reason being is everybody's running special energies in GLC. That's going to hamper what they have planned. Field Blower, same thing. You get to choose a combination of any tool or stadium, 2 of them, and it can be yours, it can be theirs. I've used it on my own Parallel City. Filled my bench up, Parallel City'd myself, got rid of the guys with damage counters, and then Field Blowered it away. Just some things that you can do. But most of the time you're going to use it to get rid of their stadiums or get rid of their tool cards, get rid of their float stone, that kind of stuff. You got your Night Stretcher. This allows you to go get a Pokemon or a basic energy from your discard pile, put it into your hand. Extremely powerful recovery card. And speaking of extremely powerful recovery card, you got your Verse Seeker, and I think this is probably in every single GLC deck. Somebody correct me if they run a deck without Verse Seeker, and tell me why. It's going to allow you to get a supporter, put it from your discard pile into your hand, and if you haven't played a supporter that turn, you're back to running that supporter again. So, Super Rod, self-explanatory. A lot of people run this one. Let's say Pokemon or energies are hitting the discard early and you need to get them back, you can Super Rod and get them back in your deck. Search out card, Buddy Poffin, just allows you to set up, go get some of those pre-evolution Pokemon, get them ready for evolution. Ideally you want to get that turn 1. Pokegear, this is going to allow me to search out top 7 cards, go search for a supporter. Trainer's Mail, kind of similar, but you look at the top 4 and you can get any trainer card. So a little bit more flexibility with Trainer's Mail. Town Map, this is one that I like the ability to see my prizes, and I don't have to worry about running a Gladion. You know, I take the knockout and I go get the prize card that I need. But I have juggled with taking that out. There are some cards that I would like to see in this deck, maybe that I'm missing out on, and Town Map would probably be one of my first cuts. Evo Soda, with the amount of evolutions that we run, you want to get into your Liepard, you want to get into your Weavile, you want to get into your Zoroark, and you want to get into your Weezing. So with 4 of your key lineups, Evo Soda allows you to just go grab that from your deck, put it on, slam it down, and now you're rolling with one of your Evos. Dark Patch, Energy Acceleration onto your bench. Extremely powerful dark only card. Beast Ring. Now this one is cool. So a lot of people are probably going, well, Guzzlord has a 4 energy attack cost for Red Banquet. Yes, that's correct. If your opponent is at 3 or 4 prize cards and you play Beast Ring, it only works for Ultra Beast, which is Guzzlord. You can go through your deck, grab 2 energies, and attach them to Guzzlord. And now we're looking at only needing to attach 1 energy. You've got 2 on there. Red Banquet, you go grab one of your double colorless. We ran 2 in this deck. You can also pair this with Dark Patch. So you can Beast Ring, Dark Patch. There's 3 energy attached from hand. So multiple ways that you can get Guzzler online with 1 turn. Let's get into my tools. We do run the air balloon. It just allows for an easier switch out in this deck. U-turn board again. They can't get rid of this. If this hits the discard, it goes back to your hand. A lot of flexibility there. A lot of usability there, because it's going to allow you to continue to keep. If you got Live Hard and like so many of these with 1 retreat cost. Zork's going to allow you to stand in, and then you can retreat if you have an energy attached. So just a lot of. Now this is for the big guys. You can use it on any Pokemon, but it's going to It's going to reduce the retreat cost by 4. Floatstone is, and that's mainly like, I don't want to use it on Guzzlord, but if I have to, I will. I would rather use a Dark Claw or a Muscle Band and be swinging for 140. Dark has the ability to essentially run 2 Muscle Bands. And if you're not sure what those do, they increase your attack by 20. And so Hoopa's now hitting for 110. Guzzlord's hitting for 140. It helps you hit certain markers that are crucial. Like, I don't know how many times that 140 has got me 2 prizes. As far as energies, I only run 6 basics. I've got the nice Heart Gold, Soul Silver with the Umbreon and the Moon in the bag. I run 3 specials. The double colorless, the twin. Those are perfect for your Guzzlord. Your Live Hard, if you ever need to use that. This is not an attacker in this deck, but it can be. It does 60. You can throw them on Zoroark with the Mind Jack attack, and Mind Jack attack is extremely potent. And then, like I said, everything else is just going to take 1 darkness energy. And then my stadiums, I only run 2 stadiums. Parallel City, as I was speaking before, you can essentially use it to wipe off some of your damage counters on your own Pokemon. Put them into the discard. But what you're mainly doing is, if your opponent has their board state set up, you're dismantling their board state. They're going to have to choose, and good chances are they want all 5 of those cards. They're going to have to choose 2 of those cards off of their bench, put them into the discard, and it's just an extremely disruptive stadium. It's really, in my opinion, it's very overpowered. And then Dark City, basic Dark Pokemon do not have a retreat cost. And you may have noticed that this deck, I'm going for, and this may be a cheese, but I'm going for that quick Hoopa Assault Gate, 90 or 110 damage. Let me get that win and let me get out into the next round. So that's my deck. Let's get into some gameplay on it. If I can get paired up on twinleaf. I do have this. Alright, so we're playing against our weakness here. You attach pass, so I need an energy and a switch. None of that helps. I have everything else I need. Let's start excavating. Build spot. Excavate. Cynthia. Nope. Don't want to use that. I want to get out of this hand, honestly. And we're going to pass turn. Alright. Berlin's still alive. So let's get trade going. I thought for sure you'd knock him out. That energy attached to Dancy there would have done it. Let's go. Sneeze on the Zora. No energies. Go ahead and excavate that. Send it to the discard. I'm going to retreat into Sneasel. And pass turn. Alright, so now he's going to start hitting everybody for 30. And he's got his tank on the bench. Really don't want to deal with this guy. Treasure's letter. He's going to grab him some energies. Attached to the Okie Dokie. And here comes the 30 to everybody. Good thing about that is Spirit Tomb is hitting for his max. So if I could find an energy, I could take knock. So let's see if there's one on top. Okay. He's gonna take a bunch of knocks. His next turn. I should just Guzman Hollowed. Okay. Alright. We are going to get Gus Daddy going. Okay, Okie dokie not there yet. As soon as he has a special energy, we'll be prepared. He just used his Iona, so let's read Banquet. Let's take our 2 prizes. Arden seems good. As does Dark Badge. Problem here, Gus Lord. I took 2 prizes, but he's gonna take 1 back. Okay, he didn't have the energy. Oh, that feels bad for him. So we're gonna excavate. Let's trade away the Weavile. I would really like to take the 2 prizes on Okidogi, because I can use stand-in, Guzma, Okidogi up. I gotta get an extra 10 damage though. Oh, Muscle Band's there, Dark Hall's there, and it's like, I can't do it anyways. Who's my biggest threat here? We already know this guy's gonna hit everybody for a buttload. Alright, let's do it. Assuming he takes the knock, we're going to want that Guzma back. Cynthia and Kalen for it. Next turn. He's going to take the knock here. Judge the hand down. I got free retreat with life hard. Zork's almost dead. Lifer's almost dead. So I'm in quite a bit of trouble here. Trade away coughing. Okay. I really need to knock this guy out. Is Guzman Hall in here? Know what teammates is. Okay. If he's got it, he's got it. Alright, much to Okie dokie. Not worried about I have a boss in hand. Free retreat on the bench into Hoopa. And he has low HP mons on the bench. So he needs to take the two prizes here. One on the active and then one on the life hard. Okay, so we promote. Then we are going to boss, Jober, active, retreat, Hoopa, and Salgate. And that is not a game that we should have won. Playing into our weakness, and quite frankly, we were down that almost an entire match. So. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I'm pretty confident that I just showed you guys the best Dark GLC deck that there is known to man. And let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. If you've got a better Dark deck out there, let's line them up. Put it in the comments that you want to challenge me. We'll make it happen. And I'll take anybody's challenge any day. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to post content. Me and Jay-Z are going to be doing some head-to-head with some different GLC decks and stuff. And we have a ton of product to open up as well. So, all right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks.